Hi, you've reached Jay at the Beards and Sundries Market. Leave a message.
Hey guys, it's John from Greece. First of all, I want to apologize about the accent. I'm doing the best I can. I hope you can understand me. I promised to call last week. Sorry, I completely forgot. Lost track of time because we were getting ready for the festivities of the Orthodox Easter. This year we had the Orthodox and Catholic Easter on the same day, which doesn't happen often. I hope you had a fun Sunday. Easter here it's like a mix between Thanksgiving and the Day of the Dead that they celebrate in Mexico. I mean, it's another Christian holiday, conveniently placed over celebrations of the vernal equinox and other pagan traditions, but at least the food is good. I will attach some photos of the things I ate because I'm a fat bitch and I fully intend to make you jealous. Also, Jay gave me the wrong phone number to call. Just tell it to my face that you don't want me to call my guy. It's okay. What's up with that? Just kidding. Alright. See you soon.
Oh. Call me a fat bitch anytime you want when you talk like that.
I'm a wet bitch after that.
And cue intro now, after all those comments?
Yes.
You'll be sorry, you fools! You idiot!
Ate his liver with some fava beans and a nice Chianti.
I don't know about you, Miss Kitty, but I feel so much yummier.
Oh, you think darkness is your ally? You merely adopted the dark. I was born in it, molded by it.
And welcome back, Beardos.
Hello. Phew.
It's a little steamy in the break room right now.
Gonna have to change these undies.
Hello.
Snail trailing all the way down.
Oh, God, I can't even stay in this chair right now. I'm about to slide right out.
I'm just going to be Taylor Swift and all the way to the bathroom.
Boys, if you want my attention, use an accent.
Well,
welcome
that's
back
to
season 6, episode 18 of Beards and Sundries.
Ooh, we're legal again.
Oh, man. Sixth time in our life.
6 seasons, and you guys have not changed that.
Nope. Don't repaint the Mona Lisa. But that's right, guys. It is time for another lunch break here at Beards and Sundries, the shop where 3 gay men with beards do inventory on a new sundry in each episode.
My name is Jay, and to infinity and beyond. That's it.
Oh, okay.
All right.
All right.
And I'm the all-consuming darkness between the stars where the souls of the damned go to suffer for all eternity, Anthony.
And
oh, God.
My name is Jay, and I couldn't be bothered to charge my headphones, so now I'm wearing giant earphones over them.
What's so funny is I thought of that exact same thing when I was putting these on. It just finally reminded me.
But really, I'm Joe, and I rarely ever think to myself, what a wonderful world. And that means that today's sundry item is space. You know, the outer kind. Beardos, the 3 of us have definitely heard about this little ride on a rocket these celebrities have taken last week, and after poking a little fun at it last week, we decided to talk about space and the ultra-rich who are glamorizing their jaunts into orbit and back. After the break, we will decide who we think should be on the first celeb journey to Mars, and what we think the effects on society would be. After the commercial, we've got some out-of-this-world Beardo-submitted sundries for you, and then for game time, a space flight that will take even less time than 11 minutes in space. But before we think too hard about how that money could have been spent anywhere else, how about this week's voicemail? Ooh.
Yeah.
John, I can speak for the market when I say I don't think anybody minded the accent.
No.
John, you could call me and read the damn phone book.
Well, if you give him the right number, which it's funny. He messaged me about it and I said, oh, yeah, you can send it through email, blah, blah, blah. Or if you want, our international code's 1. Here's the phone number. And then literally it was like a day or two later and I went back to the message and I'm like, oh, my God. I gave him somebody else's business phone number that I have memorized in my phone head or in my head all the time.
Your phone head?
My phone head, sorry. Somebody's phone number in my head. Anyways, but yeah, I looked at it and I was like, I am such an idiot.
This is exactly what we were talking about the other day. When you give instructions to get somebody to the courthouse and give them the wrong instructions.
Yep. And I'm good at that.
Well, I think I can
Good
speak for all
God.
3 of us when I say, John, you can call the market anytime.
Hey, John had pictures, right?
He did, and he also, when he sent the voicemail, there was an email to it, which is part of user stuff. So I'm gonna show it.
Oh, okay. Then we can show it during that time.
Mhm.
Okay. Because I
Yeah.
wanted to see these pictures because I too am a fat bitch, John.
I am a fat bitch with less of a beautiful accent.
Yeah, I know. Except I sound like this.
Let's literally stick a pin in that and we'll come back to it later.
Yes, I will stick anything in that.
Tzatziki sauce. Okay, so moving on.
I don't know if that's racist or not. I think it is.
I don't know, probably. Sorry. Sorry, everyone.
My bad, my bad.
Well, Joe, do you think I can find the rings around my anus in the sundries aisle?
Yeah, they're quite icy. But if you guys are new to the show and you're wondering just what the hell a sundry is, the term comes from an Old English word meaning odds and ends. Now, these days, it's used mainly in retail as a way to group together items that don't typically have a group of their own. So, as 3 gays in space with beards, we are using the term to group together the wide range of topics that we cover.
Wow. That was out of this world.
Just like the sundries we're going to have later.
That was stellar.
Whoa, Cetus Lapidus. Zoom, zoom, zoom. Let my heart go boom, boom.
That was really neutron star.
Jimmy Neutron.
I have exhausted the list of outer space terms that I know.
Star Wars.
Anthony, you rock.
It was like my shirt.
Rocks are in space. Hee hee.
Futurama, the Star Wars crossover shirt. Under my
Cute.
kimono. That's cozy. Very cozy.
So, what's up with these little trips to space? What's going on here? Why?
It's so weird to me because in my head I'm just like, we're spending all this money to send people up for what, 6 minutes of space time?
Something like that.
And I know if it was like a vacation you paid for, fine. And maybe it is right now for celebrities. Are celebrities paying to be on it, or are they kind of being like guest starred?
I
don't
don't
know.
really. I didn't really care to look into this too much because I just don't care. But I can't really. I don't know if there's a justifiable reason for it at all.
There's not.
It just seems like a waste of everything.
Stuff like this is like a very highlighted way to call out the failings of society, in that we have collectively decided that people can take the resources that we build and use them for their own insane little personal projects instead of using them to better society. So the people that are doing the work to build these resources are not getting any benefits from the resources, which is sort of defeating the purpose of society, which is why people tend to, devolve into anarchism in situations such as this.
Let me skim through what ChatGPT found. Not all the celebrities are paying. Basically, like Pete Davidson and William Shatner and all, it is their way of giving them free seats to famous people to basically generate publicity and promote its space tourism adventures. In contrast, many other passengers have paid for their journeys, and while Blue Origin doesn't publicly disclose ticket prices, reports indicate that some seats have been auctioned for as much as $28 million, while some others have sold for approximately $1.25 million.
There's tourism, and there's spending money on a trip. That is gross.
It's a nice contrast into what I think is expensive. Basically what I just paid for my trip to Greece. I'll see you later, John. Compared to that, it definitely was nowhere near 1.25 billion even.
Like, the only ship people should be looking at going on is a cruise ship, not a spaceship.
I understand. It's sort of the logical progression of where we are on Earth. Like, it's the next sort of like frontier of commercialized travel, but we are so disparate in the way that our wealth is distributed across the world at this point that it's insane to think that all of the work and the labor and the wealth that thousands of people create go to let a handful of people go into space for 6 minutes.
I think if this was, I don't know, kind of like The Fifth Element, where there was a space hotel, different story. I think that would be cool if you were even like
that was
going
a space cruise ship.
That's true. But if you were like going up to even the International Space Station, like they build on a part where guests can stay, then I would be like, okay, you're experiencing something that you're paying for. I just literally feel like this is a weird waste of money.
Yeah.
To just send them up to the edge of the atmosphere for 6 minutes.
And it's really dangerous. Like, there's a lot of things that can go wrong with it.
I wish it would at some point. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I mean, if they didn't learn anything from the submersible that went down to see the Titanic,
I'm
they're just not going to learn at this point.
Vanity projects that are absolute giant wastes of money. There's nothing, you don't get anything from them. You get to experience the edge of space. Great. Well, you wasted a bunch of money that could have been used to house homeless people in the U.S.
Bunch of money and a bunch of fuel and
a ton of fuel. So much pollution. It's even more pollution than Taylor Swift's Eras tour. I read that.
Wow.
Her entire Eras tour, it was more pollution than that in 11 minutes.
We're talking about actual pollution and not like noise pollution, right? Because that's
probably not even talking about that.
No, that was the joke was the Eras tour was worse than noise pollution because Taylor Swift is meh.
Ooh.
Sorry, Swifties.
Sorry, Swifties. Not sorry.
Not sorry. Go listen to Florida, the collab she has with Florence Welch, and get schooled.
And then, so you're talking about how they're so disconnected. You guys have seen a little bit about the Wendy's versus Katy Perry thing, right?
Some of it, yeah.
So basically, Wendy's tweeted, "Can we send her back?" at Katy Perry. And instead of like, haha, whatever, let it roll off my back, she got offended and got mad and released like a statement or something back. And then Wendy's didn't back down. And so she got even more mad. And now they're just like in this back and forth spat. And it's hilarious because it's just, she's wasting so much energy to a fight she's not going to win. She's not going to win. Just give up and let everyone forget about it. But no, you just have to keep doubling down on it, like, because at this point I have to question how sane she is anymore, because I've seen some videos of her new tour where she's dancing on stage. I'm just like, something's wrong with her.
Well, so think about this. How often in the past probably year have we talked about Katy Perry?
That's true. And what do they say?
And
Any
now,
news is good news.
How much are we talking about Katy Perry?
Well, after this week, I probably won't be anymore, because this is going to get a lot of that shit out of my system.
I actually stopped listening to her quite a while back.
Yeah,
it's like,
I did too.
I don't remember what happened. I was like, I just feel like I'm bored with you. And then I never paid attention to her stuff again.
It was that whole time when she had that album Teenage Dream, I think that was it was one with California Girls and all that poppy stuff on it. And it was fun for a little while when I was a younger gay and I was dumb as hell, even dumber than now.
Yeah,
and
it was like
it was.
And now you're not young.
It's fun to listen to. It's poppy. It's dancey, but it's just kind of mindless and stupid.
I feel like I've actually taken her out of a lot of my playlists from back then because even when I'm skipping through them, I get tired of the songs. Like, I don't know if they got worn out or if they just wore out on me specifically.
I think it's a little bit of both.
Yeah, I really wish she would just go back to space.
Sponsored by the Son of Baconator.
Now let's talk about Wendy's. Wendy's, where you can get the new 2 for whatever deal. I don't know what's going on at Wendy's. I was going to pretend like we were advertising for them, but
I'll talk about Wendy's because I like Wendy's. I just haven't had them in a very long time.
Wendy's.
We know you do, Jay.
If that was the first fast food place in space, I would then pay the money to go out there. Jeff Bezos is like, you want to see the sky? And I'm like, is there a Wendy's up there? Yeah. And I'm like, okay.
He says, there can be.
Katy Perry's there too. And I'm like, oh God.
She's working at the Wendy's in space.
She's working at it.
Wow.
Like in The Fifth Element when they open the window and it's the it's the McDonald's worker, but it's Katy Perry.
Working at Wendy's would be the equivalent of that boomer who reported Luigi. She would be up there driving me nuts. She would call everybody in because she's mad.
Or like when Trump was working at that McDonald's, but it was just a photo op.
The biggest stage. Okay, that's the funny part, going into politics briefly. Every time we talk about this, I'm like, he's fantastic at marketing. And you guys eat it up. It is smoke and mirrors, and you're just like,
all of it.
Love it.
The stakes, the buildings, the university, all of it.
And then, but that follows what everyone loves about celebrities. Like Katy Perry's thing is very smoke and mirrors. Like, it's just, I'm tired.
People view these people like they're superheroes, and they're just humans. Like, they're not that special. They're just talented enough to get famous at what they did. So,
and I think they had the right connections in the right way, because there's a lot of talented people that aren't famous.
I know that's right.
Said Anthony.
I'm just saying there's a lot of very untalented people that are famous.
Oh my God.
That's even more true.
So remember, kids, it's not about how hard you work. It's about who you know.
It's about what dick you suck.
I'll suck a lot of dick, and I'm still not famous.
I was like, it's weird how unfamous we are.
I'm out here sucking all these dicks for free.
Is
this just for fun? I'm not profiting?
Of course it's for fun. How the hell are you sucking a dick? Oh, God, I gotta deal with the guy.
That actually explains why I'm so broke lately. I'm not making any money because I'm not sucking any dick.
There's no money coming in from your Only Enemies page.
Oh, and I also just opened... I forgot that years ago I bought Dogecoin.
You did?
I did years ago. I was like, I'm going to put $25 in, see if it grows really big. And I forgot what account I went through. I had to search it today, and I finally figured it out, logged in. It is worth $11 right now. So I have lost money over the years.
Jay, you know the stock market is just horoscopes for rich white people, right?
Yeah, that's why I bought stock whenever Trump lowered the tariffs like all the Republicans were, because I was like, hey, this isn't insider trading for me.
I know, they were like, no, not for you. It was like when GameStop was offloading all their stuff, and then they shut down the trading for GameStop stocks because too many people were getting in on it. You know, like you're supposed to.
Normal people can't benefit from this. It's just supposed to be us.
No, this is regular society can't profit.
And so now we're going to go ahead and manipulate the stock market so that regular people can't profit from this and prove once and for all that the pulse of the economy is not indicated by the stock market.
It was yet another one of those like, oh, this isn't for us after
No.
all.
And what was also eye-opening was I moved some money into my Fidelity, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to buy some of the stock. And then I went in and I was like, I will buy one share of this, one share of this, and one share of this. Wow, that's all my money.
And they're like, that's cute.
Yes. And then I like look at it and I was like, God, that's like a mortgage cost right there. And I have 3 shares. So
God.
stupid.
It is stupid. The whole thing's stupid.
Yep.
Just like
It's like-
space travel.
Just
For
like
celebrities.
space travel.
For celebrities.
But in general, I'm so infatuated with space.
It's interesting. I have no interest in going because I'm too afraid of everything that can go wrong that I've seen in media that I'm sure would never happen because it's like the same as plane crash movies. But it just makes me super nervous, and I've seen some of the alien movies and I'm like, that would totally happen to me. And I don't want to do that. So I'm going to stay right here.
Well, I will say space travel statistically is much more dangerous than air travel and ship travel and car travel. So I will wait until it has a little bit of a better safety rating. And if Delta gets,
Oh my
gets the space line,
You can just take a trip on the Mayflower from Airplane 2.
that's weird. Jim never vomits at home.
That's weird. Jim never explodes at home.
I just got reminded of the scene where he opens the window to throw out a cigarette and like everything starts flying around and everyone's like, close the window. Jesus.
That's weird. Jim never gets a chest burster at home.
Game over, man.
That's weird. Jim never gets eviscerated by aliens at home.
I did think at some point as a kid that I wanted, and I think every kid wants to be like an astronaut at some point, but like I always had this like fascination with space and like just, I don't know, sort of like what you're talking about, Jay. It's just very interesting to me, the vastness of it. It's very hard to comprehend
The
how
vastness
big
of the
space is.
unknown.
Yeah.
See, and I'm not scared of the unknown. I'm infatuated with it. So I think that's why space is so cool to me. And it's funny thinking over the years, my infatuation with space has changed. Like it used to be just how cool the planets were. And now to me, it's like what the planets are made of and what's on the planet. That kind of stuff, the minerals and all, that's cool to me. Like to learn this whole other planet's like hosting this amazing mineral that we don't even have on this planet. And I'm like, that's so cool.
Yeah.
Let's mine it. Rah!
Oh, God. Come on, Avatar.
I mean, that's kind of cool. And then it's also kind of this weird, fun thing where we have all these planets in just our solar system that are all round little balls, just rotating around a star.
There's just
And
one, right, Jay?
Yeah, one per each ring. So lots of single balls just dangling out there.
You know, some planets have 2 moons, but some planets just have 1.
And that's perfectly fine.
And
And
that's fine. It's very normal.
Jupiter has like 60 some, so kudos to him. But he's a big boy, so
Yeah. Well, speaking of being a kid, learning about space and learning about the unknown, what was up with Nickelodeon giving away so many trips to space camp in the 90s?
I completely forgot about that.
Yeah,
I only asked because I have found like some channels on streaming where they'll show like vintage Nick game shows like Guts and Double Dare and Nick Arcade and stuff. And so many times the grand prize is a trip to space camp. And I was just like, was space camp new, or were they trying to get kids into STEM, or like what was going on?
It may have been that.
I think also that it was this, let's get kids interested in space again because everyone else remembers the Challenger explosion. So we need to get small minds to think that space is cool again.
Yeah, that's true. Very kind
That's
of like
my theory behind it.
Yeah. That's a good idea. That probably tracks, honestly. It's because it was the 90s.
Because I mean, it's also like the military. Think of their campaigns.
The way they target kids.
Their campaigns and their targeting and the way that they advertise is strictly for teenagers that are struggling mentally already with like getting along with people and all. That's a common thing that they do.
My high school recently, I think it was like 2 weeks ago, shared photos from their military signing event where they had kids like come enlist and their parents would come in and they would take a picture with the recruiter, and they made like, it was weird. And I was like, I don't like this at all. So that was cool to see. Not very much.
That is gross. But I mean,
feel
they
like
do it
it's-
all the time. That's the military targets teenagers. It's
Their
exactly
ad
how
campaign,
they operate.
yeah, their ads are just like,
Yeah.
yeah, come pull a Humvee out of the ditch. Yeah.
Now imagine being that kid who's traveling, like, who is struggling to find their place in the world. They're struggling to find people who understand them. They feel isolated because their family has taught them to suppress their emotions their entire life, so they can't talk about anything that's meaningful to anybody because if they do, it shows signs of weakness. And then you finally think you find a place that you belong, and that place is Space Force, but then you're find out whenever you get there that you don't actually get to go to space, but Katy Perry does.
Well, well, and then on top of that, they also target like gamers because they make it look like you're going to do all this cool like technology stuff. And when you get in the military, you're just gonna be on the front line.
Listen, I want to tell you guys right now about technology in the military. Everything, and I mean everything that most people are going to be dealing with is purchased from the lowest cost possible. Whoever we can get it from the cheapest is who we're going to buy it from. When I was dealing with software in the military, it was, you use AS400 at your work, right, Joe?
Yes.
Think that, because that was what it was. We struggled because we needed to add additional items to things, and our item code menu didn't support like a certain length of characters, and so we had to like start like retiring things so that we didn't have to up the number of characters, so we didn't have to switch software platforms for our ordering systems. It was super not good. Nothing in the military was like a video game except going through some of the preparation courses, some of like the obstacle courses. That was pretty cool. That was fun. I once freaked out a drill sergeant because I came flying over a wall and I didn't realize there was a giant drop off on the other side of it. And so to catch myself in my fall, there was like a fake guy there that was like foam, and I caught him with my bayonet and slowed my fall with my bayonet and my gun.
That wasn't a dummy. That was a real guy.
Oh, that explains all the blood. The screaming. Oh my God. I was in a hurry. I didn't have time. I was trying to get down to there in a certain amount of time. I couldn't stop for him.
Well,
It was a dummy. It was
too.
Jay.
He was a dummy for standing there and letting me do that to him.
Walk off. Why'd you do that?
He said, "Whoa, why'd you do that, puss?"
Well, because I came like rolling over this wall, and I like roll over the side, and I realized there's like a 3-foot extra drop off from where I started before I jumped over the wall, and I was like, "Oh fuck!"
Hey,
and so
what
I was
are
just like, "Well."
Well, what are you doing after this with this bayonet, boss?
Boss. Every time you add a syllable to it somehow.
Okay, so back on space, was there anything that ever like triggered you to be interested in space?
Moon shoes. Did you ever try moon shoes?
I did
as
not.
a kid? I knew a kid down the street that had some, and you're basically just kind of like putzing around like you're on a mini trampoline. You're not flying through the air like these kids in the commercial. You're not going 20 feet in the air to do poses like on Anchorman. You are just bouncing along slowly along the ground.
Yeah, I had a pair. They weren't great. But that was not what got me interested in space. That's for fucking sure.
To the moon! Not so fast.
Now, I think like Star Trek, The Next Generation probably got me more interested because it was just, I don't know. I think the prospect of other life existing in space. So maybe it was like a joint effort between Star Trek and the X-Files. What kind of aliens are they going to be?
Well, Mom's triggered. She loves both of those shows, so she will agree with you.
I gotta tell you though, Deep Space Nine is the Star Trek show.
Space
I don't
Nine?
give a shit what everybody says.
Deep Space Nine, that's what I call myself on Friday night, puss.
Oh my God.
What are you doing for the ninth time
Deep Space
tonight,
Nine.
boss?
Deep Space Sluts 9.
That's the worst one yet.
But I haven't seen Deep Space 1 through 8 yet.
Something wormhole. But do you guys think it's time for a break?
I do. I need a break from you.
Just for fun, it was the Magic School Bus that got me interested.
Oh, come on, Miss Frizzle.
I love that you asked that question so you could have an illusion to like tell us how you got interested in space. And we just did not let you have a chance to air
Yep,
that.
so I had to just force it in there. Force it in.
Well, I love that, like any good little faggot, you were influenced by Lily Tomlin.
Well, every little gay boy is, and I was the bait for sure.
Was.
Is.
But we're going to go ahead and take a quick break, and we will be right back.
If you want some fun new clothing and want to support a small business, check out hunkytops.com, the queer, Latino-owned clothing site. Beards and Sundries will get you 10% off your first order with the code SUNDRIES at checkout. You can order above 3XL, you just need to hit the contact button and they'll work with you. Again, check out hunkytops.com. Explore their styles and wear your pride. Use Sundries at checkout for 10% off your first order.
You're listening to the Beards and Sundries podcast. The podcast rated 5 out of 6 balls.
Hi again.
Hello.
I already forgot what we're talking about this part.
Listeners, if you're not watching us on the YouTube video right now, we're in space with Katy Perry. Ooh.
What is it Cindy says? I've always wanted to walk on the moon. She's While he's busy unzipping his pants.
So I thought we could do a fun little mini game of sorts here, and we would take this fun little space celebrity jaunt and up it to the next level. So we're a little farther in the future, and Elon has gone off the fucking deep end because of his Tesla stock tanking, and he has decided that he's going to finance the final first flight with civilians to Mars. And he is doing some of those free celebrity seats. And we are going to pick who we want to send off to Mars so we can forget about them for a while.
How many people do we get to pick?
Let's go with 7.
7, okay.
7 apiece or 7 total?
7 total. We're going to do this as a group. 7 total, and there's no pilot or crew. The entire ship's being flown by AI to promote AI technology.
And it's just me on AskJ.com.
All right, so first celebrity. Who do you guys think? Who do you want to put on that ship and send off to Mars?
Celebrities could be celebrities and politicians, or
Now,
we
I
haven't picked
say-
celebrities.
I say celebrities loosely. I mean just like anyone we want to get rid of and jettison off to Mars and forget about for a while. So number 1, Donald Trump.
Jake Paul.
Obviously. Jake
Who'd you
Paul,
say?
good choice.
Oh, yeah,
Fuck
yeah,
Thank
yeah.
you. Thank you. I'm
Yeah.
very proud of that one.
Yeah,
yeah,
fuck
yeah.
that guy. I wish he would. I wish Mike Tyson would have shot him. Wish he would have
Oh,
brought
my
out
God.
a gun.
Yeah,
and
it wasn't
shot
just a shotgun.
Okay, so who else? You think you want Elon on there? You think he would
Obviously.
do it, or would he be too scared?
They don't have a choice. We're putting him on there.
Oh, okay,
This is
good. Even
exactly
better.
like how Trump disappeared that U.S. citizen to El Salvador.
Oh, okay, then yes, much better. So then,
Yeah, no options. You just get disappeared.
next
I mean,
I'm thinking.
I mean, 7, that's easy. DJT, Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk. I mean, the Koch brothers. We're already at 5.
Oh, my God.
Okay.
Hold on. Caitlyn Jenner.
Caitlyn Jenner, yep. Get on up there.
Buckle up, buckaroo.
Buckaroos. She can drive, so we can make sure they never get there.
She's the backup driver if the AI fails, but she forgets the password, so she can't log in.
Diversity win. One of the worst people you know is trans.
Okay.
How many do we have left?
think like 1 or 2. You want to up it to like 10?
Honestly, like, let's just list some people
Let's
that we want
let's
to
just
get
you
rid
know,
of.
Should we
we're doing standing room only. Let's just fill this fucker up like it's a sardine can.
Should we? This is awful. Should we send Nick Cannon up there to see how many more come back?
How long is the journey? Is it more than 9 months? What made you think of that right now?
I don't know.
I mean, yeah, it's topical, but not in the headlines right now.
Jesus.
Nick Cannon, I don't know. He kind of drives me nuts.
He's a canon, all right, from what I hear.
So it just popped in my head, which of course went down that awful path.
And Coulter.
Marjorie
Taylor Greene.
I'm sitting
Mitch
here.
McConnell.
Mitch McConnell.
We'll make sure it has enough formaldehyde.
Mark-Wayne Mullen and James Langford.
Ooh, Kevin Stitt. We'll put him on there. Oh, Ron DeSantis.
Ryan Walters.
Ryan Walters. And Vladimir Putin, of course. So he and DJT can suck each other off for a while.
Evangelical pastors. Just pick one.
Who am I mad at right now?
I mean, I'm mad at a lot of people in any given moment, but...
Christy Noem. Christy Noem. Let's put her on there, too.
Who?
The one that shot her dog. The one from South Dakota.
Oh, yeah. Fuck her.
Yeah. We'll put her on there with John Wick so he can beat her ass the whole time.
I got a special seat for her, and it's right under the thrusters.
Ooh, let's send Kanye West up there.
Not the good thrusters, the bad ones.
No. The ones that incinerate you.
Oh, that's not the good one. I'm just kidding.
Did you say Kanye West?
Yes.
Yep, Kanye West. Katy Perry again.
Katy Perry again.
just in case, we'll send up a double.
And Wendy from Wendy's. It's just Wendy.
Ooh, Ellen DeGeneres.
Oh yeah, send her up there.
Oh, you either die a hero or live long enough to see yourself become the villain.
Anne Heche. Maybe they can rekindle things.
Oh.
That means I'm not crazy anymore in my made-up space language. Anne Heche said that, probably.
Oh, speaking of crazy space language, how about God, how about Tom Cruise? He can take his own special little Scientology airplane that they believe in.
Yeah, but how are we going to have Mission Impossible movies?
This is 2 problems solved with one thing. Two birds, one stone.
Maybe if we send up like James Corden with him, they can make it a musical Mission Impossible.
Do you imagine? If we sent up all the people we just mentioned, I guarantee you James Corden would be the first one murdered.
You know what? Let him go then. Bye-bye.
And honestly, I don't blame any of them. That motherfucker is annoying.
Chris Pratt.
Oh yeah.
Ooh, yeah.
Second person murdered.
He's way past his best by date.
Yeah. That's goddamn true.
We could see how many people he slaps.
Keep my space out your face.
He's in his new film role. I am astronaut.
No, I astronaut. Because listening back to last week's episode, I was like, he didn't say I am legend. He said I legend.
Like my explanation, I was like, wait. I'm not dumb. I promise. Listen.
I'm running out of celebrities in my brain.
I was like, I feel like I probably got a list somewhere.
The list of people that I wouldn't send is shorter than the list of people I would send. That's the problem here. We need a whole fleet.
Rob Schneider.
But as
dressed as a stapler.
Rob Schneider is an astronaut.
How about Chevy Chase? He's really problematic right now.
Yeah.
Wild how you can find out that people are awful later on.
When I think about the things that probably happened those first few seasons on SNL, those women had to be so strong, I bet. But anyway. Who else is bad? How about are there any problematic females left that we want to send? How about Yolanda Saldivar, the woman that shot Selena?
Just
let's send her
straight
up.
from jail to space.
She didn't make parole, so we might as well put her on the flight.
I was like, damn.
We could put her in charge of our celebrity space fan club.
It's probably safer for her to like be in space than it is to be on Earth and out of prison.
She's gonna launder all the money, and then when they try to find her, she's gonna be like pew 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 with her little space gun. All right.
Or she starts an alien fan club, and then she kills all the aliens, and we're like, damn it, Yolanda. Ugh.
You know who I want for the AI voice of the AI like that's controlling the whole ship? Sigourney Weaver.
So horny Weaver.
Yes.
Yes.
It's just a case of the Manic Mondays. I was like, hang on, we did that. That was an episode of Futurama where she played the voice of the ship.
Yeah. So like, it's great.
But I don't know. Can we use her as the voice she had on Ghostbusters when she was possessed? Sewell.
Oh, well, I mean, I don't know. I think
It's a
Sigourney
little
would be willing to
sexy.
do this.
There is no PETA, only Zool.
Only Zool.
Well, Beardos, if there's anybody that we didn't send to space that you think we should have, and I'm sure there is a laundry list,
Please
let us
send to
know.
us.
We'll get them on the next flight.
Call us and leave a voicemail of who you would put on the ship.
At the right number that somebody else will say, because I can't handle that part.
405-999-2242. That number again is 405-999-2242. And not whatever number Jay gives you, because it's probably one of our personal phones.
You call the number Jay gives you, and it says, "Welcome to Movie Phone."
The last mempty.
I know you got to feel those things slapping out of there, Jay.
I will tell you that if you call that phone number, you could get a home loan in Oklahoma.
You gave out a spam number to somebody?
No. It's a real business.
Sure, it
like
is.
a real
An
solid
insurance
business.
is so real. It's so solid. I bet.
No, home loan, not insurance.
Oh my God!
Yeah,
Do you
they're
guys
both
think
evil.
it's time for a commercial?
Yes, please.
Yay!
And now, for a word from our sponsor, the new SpaceX. The SpaceX that X's out those celebrities.
The new SpaceX. Better than your current SpaceX. Tired of obnoxious celebrities in the news? Send them on the new SpaceX. Guaranteed to never bring them back to Earth. We'll launch them into an atmosphere beyond Earth. At the new SpaceX. Elon Musk is our first guest writer, so Elon Musk, come on down to the new SpaceX. You son of a bitch. Don't forget to subscribe to the show so you get a notification every time we drop a new episode.
Well, you know, whenever I need a celebrity X'd off this planet, I call SpaceX the new SpaceX.
I actually started donating money to them, even though I know they have enough already. But I was like, please, for the love of God, if you submit money, you can actually pick your celebrities.
Well, and funny enough, they are a nonprofit. What they're doing is charitable work.
That's right.
I sent them on my Dogecoin.
For $11.
Yeah, I was like, I sent them $11 whole, which I think is 44 shares.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
What? Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
I thought you meant like one of them.
No, that's 44 shares, and it's $11 whole right now.
You should send that to space, because that's the only way that's going to go up.
You know what
Yeah.
you should do? You should cash it in and get yourself a son of a baconator.
I
Hell
don't
yeah.
know if that would even buy like a full combo meal from Wendy's.
No, not these days.
not
not
these
anymore.
days. Nah, back in my day, used to buy a big old Whopper.
Hamburgers were 11 cents, and then they increased to 13 cents, and my poppy wouldn't buy any.
Oh my God, I'm glad you remember that.
Of course I do.
Good old Whopper. The inner workings of your mind, when I see it happening in real time, it's such a work of art.
It really
I
is.
too suffer from that weird on the on the like spur of the moment creative issue where somebody expects you to be creative immediately and you're like,
And sometimes I'm great at it because I'm like in the moment, but other times I'm not fully in the moment and my brain's just like whopper.
It kind of reminded me of that Family Guy spot where Brian's like, "Come on, man, let's go to the mall. We'll get you a big old pretzel."
I mean, sometimes I treat my life that way. I just extend a word out until another one comes in line.
Puss.
just imagine you standing in line at the DMV. You're at the tag agency and they're like, first and last name, and you go,
I love it when people are like, "What's your age?" And I'm like, how old am I? 35.
I was getting blood work done today, and the lady asked me what my birth date was, and I was like, I don't know, Monday.
Mom, what's my birthday?
I can't go to the doctor on my own.
Did you call the doctor for me? Hello, my 40-year-old son would like an appointment.
Oh my God. I think that was the one thing that always pissed me off working retail is whenever moms would come in for their adult children who just the only reason like they needed their parents to be with them is because they had no executive function as an adult, which me too, bitch, but I figure it out.
Yeah, I have to. I've practically been doing it for 35 years.
Anyways, Jay, do we have any Beardo submitted sundries this week? I know we do already. It was a spoiler earlier in the episode for those of you who remember.
Guys, we do, and oh my gosh, I feel like I need to burp. John was nice enough. John from New York City. He was nice enough to make some intros for us. Although, John, it's pronounced Shanae, not Shane. So I have to have you redo that one, or I'll redo it.
One of our best Beardos from Wisconsin, Shane. Hey, Catherine, what do you think of that?
Like, I only listened to that one because I wanted to see what he did for her, and I was like, oh, uh-oh.
I want to hear it.
Oh, I didn't upload it. I'll have to send it to you.
Okay.
Ah, you bitch.
Sorry. But we do have one from...
Whoa! Oh my goodness! We just heard from John. Not me, but John from Greece.
Oh!
Oh!
I did not know where that was going to go the entire time it kept going.
I've been that high before too, John.
Yeah.
He was in space when he made that one.
See, I'll get that high, but I'm usually asleep when I'm that high. All right, John.
Wow.
I love the share ending. All right, it's John from Greece.
What did he have to
Sorry.
share?
It's John from Greece.
Phew.
Oh, boy.
Call in every week.
Please.
Oh
God.
my God.
Can we like send you things to say when you call in so we can hear how you say them? Is that weird?
Guys,
Is that bad?
oh my God.
Do?
Let's make this a segment for user content where we literally just have people submit things we want John to say.
Is that bad? Is that bad?
All right. John from Greece says, I wish I could do his accent. Hey guys, hope all is well. Couldn't figure out how to call internationally, so I'll attach a recording, which we heard at the beginning. I hope that's okay. Yes, it is.
It is.
Also, as you will hear on the audio file, I will attach some food pics from my trip for Easter. I went to my village in the countryside, and my cheat day turned into a cheat week.
Yes, bitch.
And I will show some food.
I've been having a cheat week for most of my life.
Yeah.
that?
Okay, so I'll skip through. I'll just show the first one. So it said, okay, so we have a whole lamb roasted on the spit, which is the tradition to celebrate Easter. And next to it are the organs of the lamb, such as liver, lungs, spleen, etc., wrapped with belly fat and intestines.
Ooh.
I know it might sound gross, but it's the best thing ever.
Good.
I bet it's good, yeah.
It's all locally sourced and a zero food waste mentality, which is good for you. It actually looks so delicious.
Very ethical
really
as well.
Good. I love lamb, so.
Also, we had something similar to mac and cheese.
I was going to say, I just felt something
It looks like
tingle
mac and
somewhere. Oh,
It's
man.
Basically pasta.
Is it moussaka?
I don't know.
That's a dish that's like, it's like layered eggplant and cheese and other yummy stuff. I think it's called moussaka. If I'm butchering that, I'm sorry.
This one's basically, he says, pasta, heavy cream, bacon, and loads of cheese.
Damn.
Oh.
That is mac and cheese.
Oh, there's some more spit roasted pig.
So I'm trying to look next weekend.
The other photo is lamb's innard mixed with spinach, spring onions, parsley, and other herbs with toasted breadcrumbs.
Sounds delightful.
That sounds good as hell.
So good.
I thought it was like tabbouleh. That sounds so much better.
And the last photo
Hey, I love tabbouleh.
is a dessert that's quite popular here. It's bread pudding topped with vanilla custard ice cream and toasted nuts.
Oh. Well,
That
for
looks
Jay, just be
really
toasted
tasty,
nut.
Too.
Yeah. Do you have one with one nut?
Oh my God.
Sorry for the long email. Hope the audio file works. John from Greece. That was not long at all.
That
That's
really was
mean
not
of you to
long.
say. Well, thank you, John. That all
John
looks
from
delicious.
Greece.
Yeah, seriously. Thank you, John.
You-
Send food pics.
You made everything so good today.
Send more spit roast pics. I mean, send more feast pics. Not feet
Feast
pics.
pics?
Feast
Feet
pics. This ain't got that kind of aisle 4. Everybody calm down.
I'm not even into feet, but send feet pics. No,
Jay, stop being so greasy.
oh, sorry.
We were watching Game Changer, and the most recent episode, they had them do this crab walk moment, and Katie Maravich is like, Sam, can you blur out my feet so no weirdos on the internet masturbate to them? And Ify Nwadiwe, who is this very attractive man, I mean, very attractive, was like, blow my feet up. And so you can see them side by side. And it's like this little spot
magnified.
magnification on his feet. So his feet are huge and hers are blurred out.
But that is all I have for this week. And I did not see any other reviews, but I did remember that the one we read a couple weeks ago or last week. Time
Silly
flies really
Joblo?
fast.
From Silly Joblo?
Yes, that one. It was our first one of 2025. So yay! Hey-o! Send more in for 25 and send our ratings into outer space.
Maybe we can get a second rating for the second third of this year.
Ooh. A wealth of ratings. Well, thank you, Johns.
Yes, thank you very much.
Both Johns. Thank you, both Johns.
Oh.
This reminds me, and hopefully we respond before this episode airs, but didn't John text us all three the other day, and did we not respond?
I don't think so.
I've had a busy
I
life.
think I forgot to respond. I meant to respond, and I forgot. When John messages me directly, I always remember, but when he messages the group, I forget.
Yeah, that happens to me a lot. I'm just forgetful.
I have one quick one from Mom. This is hot off the presses, Beardos. This just came in about 40 minutes ago. She is watching last week's episode where we talked about movies of the aughts, and she said, this is short and sweet. She said, we're watching B&S. Donnie Darko 2001, which, okay, valid. Very good.
Yep, valid.
I'm sorry we missed it. You're very right
I
to say
thought about
that.
Donnie Darko actually after I listened to the horror movie section, because it's not like horror necessarily, but it's not horror.
It makes me commit your... Wait. It makes me question your commitment to sparkle motion. So thank you, Mom.
Yeah, thank you, Mom. I'm sorry we forgot about Donnie Darko.
I'm sorry, too. Damn.
Yeah, that movie is wild.
But do you guys think it is time for a villain of the week?
Ooh, I do think it's time for a Bill of the Week.
If you only knew the power of the dark side.
How about that ship full of people we're sending off to Mars? They can just fight for it.
That ship is the hero, goddammit.
Oh, yeah, that's true. No, because it made it all the way back. No, I'm kidding.
You don't know that. You don't know the coordinates we put in that ship before it took off.
Beep, boop, boop.
Why are they going towards the sun? Don't worry about it. All right, so next, does anybody have something to check out?
No. I forget about that one. No.
No, that's okay. I think we had enough fun with our planning our flight to Mars. So do you guys just want to skip on forward to game time?
Let's just move on to game time.
I do want to move on to game time.
You don't know me, but I know you. I want to play a game. Here's what happens if you lose. You better hurry up. Live or die. Make your choice.
You know what? And I'm going to call this game...
I want order in this court.
This is Judgy J, the court for gay law. The cases are real. The rulings are sassy. So tighten your corset and clutch your pearls. Judgy J is about to hear this week's case.
All right, ladies and gentlemen of this podcast, today we find ourselves at a pivotal moment, a reckoning, if you will. For too long, I, Judgy J, have stood accused, suddenly silent of being the problem, of imagining delays that, according to some, simply did not exist. I was left to question my own senses, forced to doubt the very sound waves that reached my ears.
He wrote this out.
But
He's
today,
fucking wrote this out.
the truth speaks. I submit into evidence Exhibit A, a message delivered in our group chat by none other than Anthony himself reading, and I quote, Jay, you will be vindicated to know that editing has turned out that you did, in fact, have a minor sound delay. Pause for the gasping we hear from the podcast listeners. That's right. The record shows I was not crazy. I was not confused. I was, in fact, correct.
Objection!
And so now, before we proceed any further, I turn to my co-hosts, the gentlemen who casually brushed aside my concerns, and I simply ask, what do you have to say for yourselves?
If I may have my opening statement.
I am ready.
Now, Your Honor, I told Anthony specifically, as editor, he had the power to make you sound crazy and to make it sound like there wasn't a sound delay. And he chose the path of honesty and righteousness, and he reached out to you to bury the gavel. And you instead took it upon yourself to put those giant clamshells on your ears today in court and accuse us of a sound delay.
I'll have order in this court. Order. Don't you dare talk down to me. I'm the judge.
I also resent the fact that I was demanded to enter this court today without any legal representation, and I know that we have Beardos that could have helped me in this, so I object.
It is sort of wild being at work in a break room and then having a courtroom pop up around you suddenly.
That's the rules of Judgy J.
Like, we were in a shitty-ass retail store break room 2 seconds ago, and now we're in the worst courtroom in the entire history of courtrooms. Like, Judge Judy could never. This is trash in here. But I will say, for You know what? The way these procedurals work, I'm going to leave you in a little bit of suspense throughout the process of this trial because, Jay, I think that you'll find evidence to the contrary of your thought process exists within the original recording. And though I may have admitted fault for at least one question, there were, in fact, 19 different questions in last week's trivia, and you will soon face the reckoning you deserve.
Whoa, mutter, 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 wow, wow, rabble, 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 rabble. Crowd mumbling.
Oh, God. My favorite part about this is when you said I was vindicated. I was like, Judgy J is the game this week, and I'm not telling them.
I was sitting there like, when you said you had the game this week, I was like, it's just going to be like on, again, another game changer where Brennan could never be right. And that's what the game is going to be, is Anthony can't be right.
Also brilliant.
And so I was just prepared to be wrong the entire time.
I mean, that would have been brilliant, but we just haven't used Judgy J in so long. It felt right.
That's true. No. I like it. I like it. Although,
and this is the season of villains, so very fitting, Jay.
Thank you. And I am going to stay as a villain judge and tell you I was right.
And for that, you win this week's game, and that is a ticket on the second flight to Mars.
Now, Your Honor, I believe that the breadth, the scale of this scandal, I think that it extends past the walls of this courtroom. I think that it stretches far outside of the room that we sit in now. These tiny spaces could not possibly contain the outrage, the absolute mishandling of the truth that has occurred on this day. I think that it stretches past this room into the court of public opinion.
Absolutely not. This is my jurisdiction.
In which case, Beardos, I call on you to be the judges of this week's case of Judgy J and decide for yourselves, because I will have you know, Jay, should I say, the dishonorable Judge J, that I did not edit any timing on last week's game at all, and you still lost.
Oh, mutter, 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 crowd mumbling.
While Anthony is so busy trying to distract you, the truth has been laid bare. Let's be very clear. The issue here is not merely the sound delay. No, gentlemen. This issue here is the complete and utter lack of faith. The reckless abandonment of trust. The casual dismissal of your colleague crying for justice.
Beardos,
instead of listening.
The dishonorable Judgy J would have you listen to the truth with your own ears and ignore it. Who does that sound like to you? Donald J. Trump?
Ooh.
A different Judgy J, if you will?
You know
someone
what?
who says, you should feel bad for me. I'm being attacked here in all of this, when he is the one doing the attacking by springing this very court on us unannounced.
Beardos.
Yes.
Beardos, instead of listening, instead of offering support, these two gentlemen chose mockery, sarcasm. They chose to treat my very real concerns like the ramblings of some deranged podcast grandpa, fumbling.
Beardos, when this man, this so-called judge, could have expressed his concerns to us directly, could have opened up and talked about
Absolutely
this with us.
not. This is a show.
Instead, he decided to drag it all over Podcastum and bring it up here and spring it on us unannounced.
This public.
Your Honor, if I may interject, you just said just now that you can't believe that we would ridicule you and make fun of you. And to that I ask, where the fuck have you been for the last 3 years?
And to that I ask, where the fuck have you been the last 14 years that we've known each other?
There it is.
Fine, you know what? I'll give you this moment to reflect on your behavior.
You don't give me anything. I have earned this moment through trials and suffering.
And
We
I
stole
pray-
fizzy lifting drinks. We get nothing.
I pray you choose to answer this with dignity. I have shown you, despite your betrayal.
You showed me dignity by popping up a court in the middle of a fucking episode with no warning? I had no time to prepare any statements. I had to ad-lib this whole thing.
Another employee is like walking in with their lunch and they just turn around and slowly walk away.
And back out. No.
And the witness stand is just like one of those rascal scooters that's like falling apart and hasn't worked in years, and it's just where you make us
John. It's John from New York City, and he's just at the door, like with it slightly open with popcorn.
He's the court recorder. He has the stenographer device, and he's just typing it out. But he's just hitting random letters.
Shane, fart noise, Shane.
And his stenographer machine is one of those toy cash registers from Fisher Price.
It's just every statement is Judge J, the cunt.
But he's so cunty.
Ding! He's got the little typewriter return, even though the stenographer wouldn't have one, but he's got it there for dramatic effect. Ding!
Well, I will end this court case, and I just want you to know I'm not angry. I'm just disappointed.
Well, I will have you know that I am angry and disappointed. This case isn't nearly over. The Beardos have yet to weigh in.
No, it's over.
Who do you think is right, Beardos?
Oh, yeah.
Who do you think is right?
Nope, over. It's over. You know what? I think I'm going to do Judge J like this more often, where I just, I don't know,
You bitch.
steamroll you.
So then it cuts to the scene outside the courtroom where it's interviewing me and Anthony, and then the camera pans over, and Jay's just running out the back door into his car.
He's got the little 50s little lace headscarf thing on, big glasses.
I'm still in my robe, and it's just like flowing
this.
out as I'm running.
Either that or he's got a giant fedora on.
And it's that old man from People's Court, and he's interviewing you, and he's just like, well, it sounds like the judge really went down on you. How do you feel about the case?
Oh, Jay, you can't be happy about that verdict. Jay, what are you saying to being an asshole? Jay,
your asshole's
fat. Oh,
well, thanks for going to court.
Oh, did we have a choice?
Take me to court.
It's a good thing I'm always ready to argue semantics.
I know.
But
That's why I knew you guys would be so good at it.
But I do think I hear the music coming back on, and it is Stellar by Incubus, one of my favorite songs.
Oh, there we go.
But go call our hotline real quick at 405-999-2242 and leave us a voicemail to open next week's episode.
And Beardos, Wendy's is releasing their new Katy Perry meal, so it's time for us to go. If you would like to help us out, go and subscribe to our podcast so you can get reminders every Sunday when we release a new episode. We also post frequent updates on all of our social media sites for any sundries that we add to the market.
And don't forget to rate us all the stars in space.
Double rainbow.
Or at least 5 stars. And leave us a review. Those reviews are what get us found by more silly joblos like you. And just if each one of you silly joblos out there would tell another silly joblo about this podcast, we'd be full of silly joblos.
Check out our socials: Facebook, Instagram, Threads, YouTube, TikTok, all that jazz. You can also contact us by emailing us at beardsandsundries@gmail.com. And you can go to our website, beardsandsundries.com, to buy merch.
So, from the three of us astronauts here at the Beards and Sundries Market, make sure to
love yourself.
Because we already love you in space.
That actually explains why I'm so broke lately. I'm not making any money because I'm not sucking any dick.